Hello everybody, this is Carlos again. I wanted to share a video today about how to flip property. So one of the top questions I've gotten over the years, more often than not, very top common question is how to flip property. Flipping means you buy a property that is distressed, you fix it, and then you sell it for profit. There's a lot of shows, there's a couple networks, I think they have shows about flipping property, fixing properties, and flip this property. I think one of the shows called. I think one of the networks is Home and Garden TV. Another network is Bravo. They show a lot of real estate related stuff, like real estate agents who sell $1 million listings, how to own investment property, how to grow in rental property, flipping property. I never really watched those shows. But people always ask me, and then I always make a reference to that show. That's why I'm making a reference here. But I really don't know. I really don't follow those shows. Let's just see in real life with some of the clients over the years. And I have a couple investors I work with all the time who are ready to buy on a cash basis when I find deals like that. So I wanted to share this video, see what you guys think. What's really critical is how to find the deal. How to calculate the gross profit, and I wanted to ensure that I went over the top 3 mistakes that rookie and even experienced investors make. So I hope you like it. So I go over on a spreadsheet on how it works and how to calculate costs and all that, and how to actually find the deals. So before I begin, I wanted to make sure that I was clear in my communication, because there's other steps that I have to take in order to get here, but then that would be a little too complex to show a video. It'd take like an hour or whatever, maybe, just about. All right, so the key here is that this is what's called our MLS, multiple listing service, and everyday properties come up for sale. So this property came up for sale at 4514 Colada Avenue in Pico Rivera. This is off of Rosemead and Beverly. This is in Pico Rivera again. So the time when the property came up for sale, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,900 square feet, came up at 500. So as soon as we saw 500, if you have to know, as a real estate agent, as an investor, you have to know the values in any given market. So in this case, we knew going in that this property at 500,000, something's wrong with it, because the property was worth, because of the area and the square footage and the room size. The room amount, the room count, the property was gotta be worth at least 675 to 700, maybe a little more, give or take. And so then we knew, and you're able to recognize these when you have experience and when you do these as real estate agent or investor. So then at the end, a friend of mine, investor, ended up buying it even at a lower price at 475. But here's the thing though, this is how the property looked. It was pretty distressed. Property had to be gutted out. I hope you can appreciate in the video. I'm not sure if you could appreciate the pictures and the condition. So it's not like it just needed paint and carpet, right? And so then it was pretty distressed. So it needed a lot of work. All right, so that's how the property looked. So we knew. So key number one here is knowing how to find the deal, right? In order to find the deal, you have to know the market, at any given market, any area. If you go into this corner here, the properties are not worth as much as this particular corner here, particularly like right here. This is a little bit of a higher price point. So you have to know the city, and city by city, and community by community, neighborhood by neighborhood, so you could be able to see when it is a deal. So this comes through experience. So then here we bought it for 475. So then to put it in perspective, so then this was the selling price. 729,000 was the asking price, and ended up selling for 725 rather. So, but then this is how the property looked. The 3 garage, paint inside, outside, new windows. The pool had some issue that we had. They had to be fixed. There was electrical problems. There were plumbing. So everything was done and remodeled completely. This is how the property looked. This is the end product. So then now you have to have somebody who knows how to do the work. You have to hire them, you have to pay them, and hire the quality of the material and the quality of the work required, and the higher the craftsmanship, and the higher the craftsmanship, then the more expensive it is. Because it is not handyman type work, full renovation. And then it's how the property looked. So whoever bought this property got a really good property. They got a good deal because they paid fair market value. They didn't overpay. So first we find a deal and they get customer experience, and then we do the repair, and then we put it back in the market. We get it sold. Okay, so I'm gonna go to my spreadsheet in a minute so I can show you the back end of it that you don't really see in shows, right? Because it has to make sense, right? So the property sold for $475, and initially that was the acquisition price point, and they ended up selling for $725. So in the spreadsheet, I'll show you how the top 3 mistakes that most investors, rookie, even experienced investors make, and real estate agents as well. Okay. So then on the spreadsheet, right? So then my client acquired this property for my friend purchased this property for $475,000. And we had estimated that the fair market value on reselling the property was going to be $675,000, $700,000 give or take, and we had estimated $70,000 in repairs. So then this is the breakdown of the cost. So 675, if we were right on 65 and sold it at 675 and we bought it for 475, that's $200,000 difference. Minus $70,000, then all these are expenses. $70,000 repairs, plus when we list it back up at fair market value, we have to pay agent broker commission. So that's 5%. Transfer taxes, we have to pay, every time you transfer a property, you have to pay transfers, city, county, all those taxes. Then we have acquisition costs. Acquisition costs is when we bought the property, we have $2,300 or so, give or take, on closing costs and escrow and title. Now, this is very low cost because there's no loan. This is a cash purchase. And then sometimes we calculate, we're going to give buyers credit for the loan, 1%, 2%, who knows, 1,000, 10,000. We don't know until we get there. And then we have holding costs. Holding costs is that once you have the property and you rehab it, and then it's ready to go, it hits the market, we have to maintain like the pool, we have to maintain the yard, the utilities, for the period of time that's in the market. So holding costs could be about $1,000, give or take. So a lot, most of the time it's less. So then, if this is the case, then we calculate we're going to profit $86,000, which would have equated to 12%. So for me and my clients, when I find properties like this that I want to get my buyers, my 2 investor friends of mine who I work with all the time, I want to make sure that they're going to net at least 10%. So that's my target. If I'm not going to get 10%, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to even consider it because it doesn't make sense. And smart investors would not make those purchases. Okay, so the advantage of this area and the appreciating market is that the property, our asking price was $729. And it ended up selling for $725,000. So that gives us a lot, more room. However, when you start to gut the property, as you could see, it wasn't the property wasn't really a carpet and paint situation. It needed a lot of work. And then when you open up walls and you try to work with the electric system and all the plumbing system and doing the upgrade, and there's other things that happen, unexpected expenses. So then the unexpected expenses, it became $103,000 instead of $70,000. So then that still put us within the range. However, the buyer that bought the property ended up getting a credit for $7,500 for their closing costs. So that helped. So then at the end, my client said it $93,000, which equated to 12% plus of ROI, return on investment. Okay, so then that's what happened here in this deal, and this is how it worked out for my friend. All right, so then, while this is my target, it's important to look at the top 3 mistakes that rookie investors make, and even experienced investors and real estate agents when they're looking for these deals and trying to put them together. So then, oftentimes they don't. The number one mistake that it's made is that they don't know what the value is. They don't know how to come up to value. So they think oftentimes that by buying a property, let's say in this case, the property, let's say they would have paid $575. Still, let's do $525 instead. Let's say they would have paid $525. And then they would have sold it for $725. So then the number one mistake, to be clear, is that you have to know how to buy a property, on the way in. So $525, although it seems a $200,000 difference benefit, considering that the expenses went up by $30,000, and then you had to do a seller credit to the buyer, then the net would be $42,000. So then the percentage ROI, return on investment, is less than 6%. So why would you say it's a mistake? Because you are going to invest $525,000 to net $42,000. The liability is too great for the ROI. ROI has to be 10% or more. That's the bare minimum. So then most investors, experienced and rookie investors, and even agents, they don't understand this concept, and the mistake they make is that they overpay for the property. There's different factors for that. Sometimes there's not enough inventory, and the property, let's say, it's worth, in this case, $475, the asking price, but they continue to drive each other, and then ends up selling for $550 because I want to get that deal because there's $175,000 equity, but then they're not calculating all these other numbers correctly, and so then you end up netting nothing on these difference of values. A lot of difference, but there's also a lot of cost involved, particularly when you get cost that it was more than anticipated. Okay, that's mistake number one. They pay too much on their way in. Okay, mistake number two is that these deals have to be paid for in cash, because even if we bought it at $475, which was our purchase price, these type of properties, oftentimes when they're distressed, they're not financed. You can't get a regular mortgage loan for them. So you have to recur to a what's called a hard money loan. Those loans are very expensive. They're short-term loans, and then those lenders have a guarantee for 6 months of payment. And so then on top of their excessive fees, because they're taking on a great risk, so they're very expensive. So let's say here for this particular deal, right? This is the end. We sold this for $725, acquired it for $475. The estimated cost $130,000, resale and all these expenses, and netted $93,000. About 4-month project. But if you would have gotten a hard money loan because the property is not financeable, it usually equates to about 10% of the purchase price. So then in this case, it would have been $47,000. Give or take. So then now it puts you less than 10% ROI target at $46,000. So why is this critical? Because this is gross profit. From this, you have to pay taxes. So then the second mistake investors make is that they go to a seminar from these shows where, Flip This Home or wherever those shows are. They start to do these seminars everywhere, within those shows and outside those shows, and they're trying to teach people how to flip property with no money, no credit, no down, no nothing. And this is how they do it. They get this loan. But then, sure, it's $46,000. It's a lot of money in 4 months, right? But this is gross. You have to pay taxes after these. So it's not worth the risk, because when you have a loan like this and you fall behind, you can't sell it, something happens, and these lender forecloses on your property within, a short period of time. And so now you're not only lost in initial profit, but also you lost your shirt on this deal, and then you can't do another deal. It's too hard. All right, so then that's mistake number two. Mistake number three. So within the same scenario,
or both of the number one and number two combined, they overpay for the property, which in this case is $525, and they still get a loan, 10%. So you have no net. So then sometimes investors, they understand these and they want to compensate by increasing the price. So then they start playing with the sales price, and so then, oh no, then that's not enough, and so then they'll go $775. Oh no, that's not enough. $800,000. 7.7%, and then they go to $850. Perfect. Now I got 12%. Now I got to pay this loan. I got enough to pay the loan and the cost, and I'm gonna net $108,000 in 4 months, 12%, give or take, an ROI. The problem is that they're trying to sell $850,000 that is worth $725. It's just not gonna sell, and they see it and wait and see it and wait and see it and wait, and so then nothing ever happens. And when the bank starts to pressure, hey, you gotta sell it, so you sell it at a loss, and then not only you again lost the initial investment, you didn't get the initial investment, but you lost your shirt in this property. So then those are the top 3 mistakes investors make, real estate agents and rookie and ex-investors. And so the key here is that how to avoid those mistakes, and you avoid those mistakes by knowing how to buy going in. You have to know what the value is in the resale. In this case, we were conservative. We estimated $675 to $700, ended up selling for $725, and then we had gotten it for $475. So then, knowing the fair market value, and knowing that on your way in you have to be able to the right purchase, and then have no loan, is key. Then how do you do that? You save your cash, or you get together with 2 or 3 different investors, create a corporation, and put your cash together, and then that you could split this money. But then of course it's gonna put everybody in less than 10% because you have to pay taxes. So then have less investors to increase profitability or save your money much. Cool. And that's how you avoid that, right? So no hard money loan, know how to buy the property, know the value. So the real deal, bottom line, is it's in the purchase initially.
All right, so I hope you liked that video. I hope I made sense in my explanation and how to make profit on a flip property, and how it's not that easy. It can be simple, but not that easy. And if you're not experienced, if you're not working with the right agent, with the right people, if you don't have the right systems in place, it could cost you not only the profit, but even a greater loss on that purchase of the property. So thank you for watching the video. Feel free to like and share and subscribe. I know that's like a YouTube algorithm thing. I still don't know how that works. I just know that if you like it and you share and subscribe, it helps for exposure. So anyway, feel free to call me anytime. Talk soon. Take care. Bye.